Hello everybody, it's Big Monster Guy, and today I'm going to show you how to make the infamous Balloon Man from Teen Titans Go to the Movies. Let's get started. So the materials you're going to need is shirts, fabrics, paints, E6000, masking tape, such inflatable ball, cute little flare around, just kidding about that. Anyway, you're going to start by cutting a circle for the torso segment, and then you're going to sew the two slabs of fabric with one another, wrapping the ball around that. Now, to make his semicircular head, we're going to be using cardboard for the inner structure. So, you might be looking at this, and it's actually very similar to when we built the Death Star out of cardboard, but this is at a much smaller scale, obviously. So, cut the shapes, obviously, place them with one another, make sure to let it dry for at least 5 to 10 minutes per piece to ensure a nice, durable structure. And what I did here is I stuffed it with cotton to give it a puffier shape, and then I added 2 more slabs of cardboard around the base area to thicken it up a bit, and then wrapped the entire thing in pink fabric, giving us this nice semicircular head. Alright, now here comes the scary part, which was attaching the pieces to the torso segment. If I did one wrong move with the needle, I could have accidentally popped the ball, but thankfully everything was successful and I was able to successfully sew it to the rest of the body. And now the head and torso structure were complete. Alrighty, now it's time to work on the face piece. Now the way I did this is actually from a piece of a bleach bottle. I drew it on, cut it out, and then painted all the details individually. Of course, before painting it, I sanded it, obviously. After everything was done, I clear coated it, let it dry for at least 24 hours. Once that was set and done, I located it in its proper place. Once that was set and done, now it's time to work on the breathing tubes on the sides of his head. So these are very easy, they're just 2 tubes. So once those were sewed and done, I carefully attached them to the sides of his head, and that was done. Up next, I painted these twisty ties in the aqua blue color, and these are gonna serve as the individual knots tied in Balloon Man's arms. So as seen on screen, you can see what I'm talking about. I just attach them, and then it gives him the knot effect on his arms. Once his upper torso and body were set and done, now it's time to give this Balloon Man his balloony legs. Same process as the arms, stuffed them, dyed them pink, because it was white fabric, duh. And the green stuff is actually a green blanket to give it more weight to the leg structure. Why? Because this gave the man the ability to stand, making him easier to display, of course. Alright, now it's time to create his foot soles. I made these out of cardboard, 2 pieces each. Glued them in place with E6000, of course. GameCube E6000. And once that was set and done, now it's time to move to the next step. Alright, for the next step, I used this plastic to create the parts, the aqua parts in Balloon Man's body. Now here you can use whatever material you want. Use cardboard, paper, thinner plastics, vinyl, whatever you want. Really, I use this plastic because it was more durable and for personal preference. But you can use whatever you want here. There's liberty of creation here. Now, I will say the arcs of his knees came out a little more squarish than they should have, but honestly, it wasn't that bad looking. Once that was done, I did the little rings in his breathing tubes to complete the look. Hold those down with some super glue. Make sure everything was nice and secure. Wrapping the foot soles in more fabric to complete the look there as well. Now, the pink looks way too light on camera, but that's just the lighting. I assure you, it's not that light of a pink. Alright, once the foot soles were all said and done, the infamous Balloon Man is now completely finished. I am honestly very happy and pleased with how this guy came out. Although I could have done a lot better, not gonna lie. But hey, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the final result. And yeah, I kind of like how the limbs are like a different shade of pink than the rest of the torso. It kind of gives it more diversity in the shades of pink. It honestly looks cooler, in my opinion. I mean, sure, it looks like he had one tan too many, but yeah, I think it looks great overall. I'm really happy with the final result. Here's the back of him. Now, one little detail I forgot to share, which is totally optional. You do not have to do this by any means, but I carved out the little inflation port of the ball itself, which is the torso segment, so in case if he deflates in the future, I can always just pump more air into him. It was actually very easy to do as well. It's just basically cutting out the fabric where the inflation port is and then super gluing around it carefully. And that's how you make Balloon Man, baby. And we have come to an end. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Ha 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 ha!